The first ever all-women's WWE pay-per-view is Evolution. The show took place in Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, New York, which when that was first announced, I was not a fan of that venue because that's always been notoriously one of the worst WWE cities is Long Island. And New York's a great city. You know, you have when they barely ever go to Madison Square Garden, but Manhattan, great crowd in Brooklyn, which they go to all the time now. Great crowd in Barclays Center, but Long Island's easily the worst of the New York crowds, but that was not the case tonight. They were a great crowd. So I wanted to talk a bit about the red carpet. I did this red carpet special. I was thinking to myself, I don't want to watch it, but I watched it. It wasn't horrible. There was just a lot. So a typical WWE preview show. They had the panel. You had Paige on the panel. You had Renee Young. You had Beth Phoenix. You had an all-female panel. They had Carmella there. Then they went to the red carpet, did a few interviews. The first interview was just really, was a weird interview. So it was, Charlie Caruso interviewing Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. And there's always been rumors of these two having heat with each other. I have to say, both of them looked very beautiful. You have to give them that. Both of them look gorgeous. They have that in common. Alexa's just, wow. Anyway, they were talking. I don't know. It was weird that they chose to interview them both together. I don't know if they both have high. The company views them both as top female stars, so they wanted to get them both on the interview, but it was awkward to interview them both together. I don't know if they're going to do something with them, if they're going to be a tag team, they might feud, but it was a little strange. They talked about the Abu Dhabi match they had last year in the channel, This Is Hope. I'm sure they won't talk about another Middle Eastern country, which WWE did have the audacity to play a preview for. So, yeah, they have that. But it was fine, you know, seeing, I've always thought those two could be a good rivalry or a good duo. I don't know if they can even, I don't know what they can do with them, but I think they have some decent chemistry, and both of them, I have to say, both look really hot next to each other. I don't know, something about them, like I think they make each other look better. So they have a nice chemistry together in that regards. But yeah, both look really nice. So they also had more interviews. They had Maria Menounos, who cares? They had the Bellas. Then they had Ronda Rousey. And Ronda, I don't know. I didn't like her interview as much. She came off a bit awkward here. Charlie's talking to her about Nikki Bella, and she's saying, well, she kind of says, I'm going to punish her. I don't know. I kind of thought like, this kind of feels like Ronda. I mean, if you know something about Ronda Rousey, she had this really great rivalry in MMA, if you followed her MMA career, with this girl named Miesha Tate. It kind of seems like Ronda's trying to make Nikki to be Miesha, but they won't go that far because they really hate each other in real life. If you think Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss don't like each other, yeah, those two, they genuinely despise each other. But I thought they could have done stuff like that. I can tell Ronda's almost say the same stuff she said about Nikki, she said about Tate, but it was fine. Her interview wasn't that great. And they had Stephanie, of course, and it's Stephanie McMahon, WWE PRPC bullshit. It's Stephanie, she's going to take credit for this whole show. The one thing I think I've seen a lot of negative fanfare going into the show. It's unfair, but I think a lot of it's just towards Stephanie, not towards the woman. So finally, we start Evolution. They have an average video package, typical WWE video package with Stephanie. They show all these little girls. Oh, they're going to be so inspired. Typical Stephanie bullshit. The show starts off with this band. I forget exactly who they were. I don't even remember the names. I'm sorry. I hated the song. I thought I don't know what they were doing. The woman in the ring was good. I think she was the same chick who played Nakamura out to WrestleMania this year, but she was really good. Everyone else, yeah, I don't know if that was supposed to be a guy or a girl. I'm not going to say, whatever. I was not a big fan of that performance, but I was a big fan of the opening performance. They started the show off really hot. They started off with Trish Stratus and Lita against Alicia Fox and Mickie James. So Alexa Bliss couldn't wrestle. I had her in my predictions, but I didn't realize she wasn't going to be able to be cleared. But Trish comes out, big pop. Lita comes out, big pop. So they're both very over. Then Alexa Bliss comes out, big pop too. Alexa gets to cut a promo, and this is the best I've ever seen Alexa Bliss look. I mean, I can't, I'll try to be respectful. My God, she can't be that hot. How is that? It should be illegal to be that attractive. Jesus Christ, Alexa Bliss is fucking gorgeous. My God, whenever she's doing some cosplay, I don't know. I think they said it could have been Alice in Wonderland or something. Something Disney. She's a huge Disney fan. Like if you follow her on Instagram, she seems like the sweetest girl. But my goodness, what a beautiful, sweet girl. Jesus Christ, Alexa Bliss is fucking hot. and Alicia Fox and Mickie James. She introduces them. So yeah, you can tell Trish is the biggest star here. Lita's the second, Alexa's the third, and Mickie and Alicia. Mickey's the fourth. Alicia's certainly the last. So the match was really hot. The crowd was so hot into this. Like, the crowd made this match good. If you take the crowd, like, if you were to put this match on Raw, the crowd would have been dead for sure, and this match would have sucked. And this crowd made this match a good match. They were so into it. They loved Trish Stratus. They loved Lita. They went crazy for all their spots. They went absolutely nuts. Like, you can tell the fans are here to help these women out. They want to make this a good show. They want to be a part of history. And it's like they have a good agenda. There's times when fans have a bad agenda. You know, there's times where they have an agenda with, it's like Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar in the main event. We're going to hear that, you know, to ruin this match for these guys. But here, like, they want to make this good. So, the fans have a good agenda here. They had Alexa get involved a bit, like, but she couldn't take any contact, so that's not good. I don't know how long we can wait to see her, but the match was a lot of fun. They did the big showdown with Trish Stratus and Mickie James, you know, kind of that similar stuff to WrestleMania 22. No, Mickie James did not grab Trish Stratus by the pussy, but Trish did the whole lick thing, so that was like a nice throwback to that match. Although WWE will not let you see that match, because, yeah. We know why. But the crowd went nuts, but there was one huge problem. Alicia Fox, she's the scapegoat of this fucking match. My God, what the fuck's she doing? So Trish hits the Stratus faction to Mickie James, and there's like a 10-second 3 count. 1, 2, like, it should have been 3 count, 5 seconds. It takes Alicia Fox like 6 extra seconds to break it up. That was one of the worst botches of the year. That was horrible. But the crowd still didn't turn on the match. Trish and Lita was still over. Lita hit a double moonsault, which got a big pop. And then Trish finishes Mickie James off with the chick kick. Gets the 3 count, similar to WrestleMania 22, how that ended. So Trish and Lita get a big win. They celebrate. I'm sure WWE will still do Trish Stratus and Alexa Bliss. They still want to do that match. But tonight was a good way to get Trish and Lita back into things, because I think they're here to stay. I think you're going to see a lot of Trish and Lita. I think they'll probably feud with Bayley and Sasha. You'll see Trish and Alexa soon. So yeah, they're here to stay for sure. And it was a good opener, a great way to start the show in a really perfect way. You know, 2 legends. Fans love Trish and Lita, and they got a big win. They got a win over Mickie James and Alicia Fox here. No Alexa, but still, they got a win, and we'll see something with Trish and Alexa in the future for sure. So that was definitely a very positive way to start this. And I also wanted to mention the set. So this is an NXT arena, basically. This is probably good, which means Triple H probably has a lot of control. This looks like an NXT show. This does not look like a WWE pay-per-view. We all know WWE pay-per-view has like a million LED boards. You have the giant ring posts with LED boards. You have the giant LED Titantron. Looks like the whole fucking thing is so goddamn bright. It gives me a headache. It makes me nauseous. The amount of bright lights you have to fucking see. And there's the ramp, every single thing has to have a Titantron on it. It makes you nauseous. You have to see it so much. But this is an NXT arena, which is, we're probably going to be an NXT show. So we might have a great show on our hands. So they showed Dasha interviewing the Bella Twins backstage. They dedicate the match to Ronda Rousey's mom. So I don't know if we're going to see Ronda's mom on WWE TV soon, but whenever they mention that, that probably means that's going to happen. So maybe we see that soon. So they showed a video package of everyone who are excited to be a part of Evolution. They showed Asuka, who can't speak English. That's why Vince isn't going to push her. Her English is just terrible. They showed Kelly. But then the main focus of this video was definitely Sasha Banks. It was definitely her highlight. She was crying. She was crying on that main carpet around Alexa when they interviewed her. She was kind of crying. She cries a lot. We all know Sasha Banks is very emotional. And also, Lillian Garcia's back to do the announcing tonight. I don't know what JoJo's doing, but Lillian's she did the first 2 matches. So the Battle Royal is next. So Naomi came up first, and they showed Jimmy Uso in the crowd, and I think that's R-Truth sitting in the damn crowd. Oh my God. Up next is the Miss Undertaker, Michelle McCool. So I'm sure, thanks to the Undertaker, thank you, Mark, we'll see Michelle McCool get like 5 eliminations like she had at the Royal Rumble. Sonya Deville was out next. Then you had a Lunger Blaze. No, she's not a Lunger Blaze. She's Medusa, damn it. She came out, got a big pop. Carmella. Then you had Zelina Vega, who I hope wins. Then you had Kelly come out, who she got a big pop. You know, she was never a great wrestler or anything. She was really bad in the ring during her days, but she was a big star. You can't deny that. They pushed her hard, and she was very beautiful. She was a big star for them, so it wasn't surprising she got a big pop. Tamina was out, no pop, as usual. Dead silence. And you had Ember Moon, who got a decent pop herself. He had Lana come out, and then he had Maria Kanellis, who looked great, by the way. And they showed her husband, Mike Kanellis, in the crowd with their baby. Mandy Rose came out, not a big pop. She got a decent, more of a pop than Sonya did, but not a huge pop. Molly Holly got a decent pop. Again, all the Attitude women get big pops. It's like the Royal Rumble, all like the legendary women. They're all going to get the bigger pops. But she got a decent poppers for sure. You had Dana Brooke, then you had Nia Jax, who looks like they're still going to push. Then you had Ivory, and then Asuka. You had Asuka, she didn't actually come out last, but I forgot. Tori Wilson was after her, but when Asuka came out, they showed Miz and Maurice in the crowd. I'm surprised Maurice is not a part of the show. That's surprising. I don't know why no Maurice? I don't get that at all. Because she was just feuding with Brie Bella, like zero Maurice. That's very surprising. By the way, Tori Wilson looked great. Then, speaking of looking great, the Iconics came out next. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. So when the Iconics cut a long promo on all the older women, they're calling them obscure, they're ripping into them. And as soon as the match starts, all the returning from the legends, they all gang up on the Iconics, and they eliminate both of them. So both of them are eliminated right away. So, that's it for Peyton and Billie. I did like how they ripped into Long Island, because come on, like the first ever women's pay-per-view is going to be taking place in Long Island. That's how I felt. So thank you for the Iconics, but they went out quick. So the first storyline of the match is about Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. They eliminate three legends, eliminate Ivory, Kelly, and Tori Wilson, and then Mandy Rose turns on Sonya Deville and eliminates her, which I don't like. I want to see them both as a duo. I think they're a good duo. I think they both, Mandy Rose they're going to push her very hard in the future, but I think they're actually really good as a team, and I like kind of Sonya as Mandy's muscle, Mandy's bodyguard. I don't know. I don't think they should split up, because they're probably going to do that very soon. And I hope it's not a Sasha Bayley thing, but it looks like that's probably where they're going to go if they do that right now. They had Medusa she couldn't take a bump, but she did the best she could. They had Nia Jax gently toss her over the rope. You had Nia Jax eliminate Maria Kanellis, who looked absolutely stunning tonight. I have to give her that. My God. You had Nia and Tamina making an alliance. Now, they did tribute to Roman Reigns, which was really good. That was actually a really nice part. They did the whole, when Roman does that, they did that for Roman. That was good to do that for their cousin. I don't care to see a match with Nia Jax and Tamina, but they eliminated Lana, and then there was this giant suplex spot, which I don't know. I'm not a fan of that. That stuff looks really fake. They do that stuff in a lot of big matches, like a whole bunch of multi-person matches. I think those stuff looks super fake. I don't like it. They did the Carmella dance break, and then they set up Mandy Rose to be eliminated after that. Ivory's lasted a while. Ember Moon eliminates Michelle McCool, who did not get any eliminations. So definitely, I've actually enjoyed this match better than the Royal Rumble this year. Okay, so I think Alicia Fox might be challenged for botch of the night. There was a botch with Carmella and Ember Moon that was even worse. I mean, before that, I forgot to mention Naomi was eliminated, but that might have been the worst total whirl I've ever seen. I mean, Kelly wouldn't even do something that bad. At least she can get her legs wrapped. That might have been worse than Alicia Fox. You had Ember eliminate Carmella. Ivory got a long showcase in this match. Eventually had Asuka eliminate her. So I like the showcase with Asuka and Ember Moon, rehashing their NXT rivalry, and then Ember Moon eliminate Asuka, so Asuka's eliminated. Poor Asuka. But I guess I actually like that was Ember who eliminated her. It gives her finally some revenge, because Asuka always beat her in NXT. So Tamina lasted longer than Asuka in this match. Eventually Ember eliminates her. Now it's down to Ember and Nia. So I have to say, Ember's far more over. She's probably been the most over person. I mean, their first pick for the fans, I think, was Asuka, but then when she's out, they went straight to Ember. They're really behind Ember. Nia is probably going to win, though. So the best parts was Zelina Vega coming back. She made a run, and I didn't like how she celebrated that she won. Like, we knew they landed on the top row, but they had Nia Jax kill her with this giant gorilla press slam onto Tamina on the outside, who caught her, and then Nia eliminates Ember. I think they should have called an audible. Ember was very over. This really got her over, but they went Nia Jax. She gets the victory, and I guess probably Ronda and Nia. And that does make sense, because Money in the Bank, they had the Alexa Bliss finish. So I guess you're going to get a rematch, maybe Survivor Series, or what's next? TLC? You'll see that match. I hope it's not like at a major show, but I think that's where they're going to go next, and it makes sense to give Nia her rematch. So Nia Jax had an interview after match at Charlie Crew, so she came off likable, and that kind of gives away Ronda for sure is going to beat Nikki, as if we didn't already know that. But I thought the ending of the match was good. I thought that was actually one of the best battle royals I've seen all year. I mean, usually WWE battle royals absolutely suck, But this was easily the best women's battle royal I've ever seen, and I like this better than the Women's Royal Rumble from this year. We have the 2018 Mae Young Classic Finals. Io Shirai versus Toni Storm, and this match, going into the show, I'm expecting this to be the match of the night. These two are both great. I think Toni Storm's the future of WWE in the women's division. She's so young. She's only 23 years old. She has everything. She's very attractive. She has blonde hair. She has a great body. She can talk. She has an accent, which I'm sure won't be popular with Kevin Dunn, but she has everything. And Io Shirai definitely has a future too. The thing everyone compares is Asuka, Io Shirai, and Kairi Sane. I think of those three. I think maybe the reason because Asuka's being depushed is because of Kairi and Io, but maybe not. But here, I'm sure these two will have a great match. Two of the best women wrestlers in the whole world. So, great. Should be great. They have Jessica Carr as the special referee. So I liked how they showed the crowd. They showed Rhea Ripley just doing this very, sarcastic clap. She's actually awesome. She can be a star. So Toni Storm got a much bigger pop than Io Shirai. And they also mentioned Tegan Nox, who was injured. She was shown in the crowd. She had a very unfortunate story. She was forced to miss the Mae Young Classic. She could have been in the finals. That's just really terrible for her. So they're going at each other. You saw Hurricanrana, Io Shirai give Toni Storm a great, Hurricanrana from the top, but she did a springboard from the top rope, which was great. You saw a German suplex on the apron. So Toni Storm defeats Io Shirai in a very good match. The crowd, I wish they were a little bit louder because I don't think they knew who they were. Not too many fans watched Mae Young Classic, but if they were more into this would have been even better. But this was still very good. Really enjoyed it. A lot of fun to watch. It was really entertaining. They did some really good stuff here. I think if the crowd was going as crazy as they were in the first two matches, this would have been the best match. But this was really good. Toni Storm gets the win. They went with her. I think she has, Michael Cole was hyping up. Toni Storm's going to be a superstar. I don't know if she's under a UK contract, but she'll be under a WWE contract very soon because once they see how much star potential she has, as we all know, she'll be in the WWE and she'll be a top female star, and she might be the top star of the whole women's division in a few years. She has everything. So I really enjoyed this. So after the match, you showed the two of them hugging, which was a nice moment. And then you have Triple H, Stephanie, and Sarah Del Rey. They call her Sarah Model, but she's still Sarah Del Rey. All handing out flowers, and Triple H hands out the trophy to Toni Storm. And Toni Storm celebrates and definitely has, again, I said, she's going to be a player here for sure. She's going to be a top star in the WWE Women's Division in the next few years whenever she comes on the main roster full time. They actually showed a commercial for Crown Jewel. Yeah. They are another one of those goofy Evolution video packages. What it means when they show Alundra Blaze, Naomi, and Eve Torres. So up next is the 6-woman tag match. You have Riott Squad against Natalya, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. So with Halloween coming up, the Riott Squad comes out dressed as horror movie villains, which was really cool. Liv Morgan is Pennywise, Ruby Riott's Jigsaw, and Sarah Logan is Leatherface, which makes sense. She's from the South. That was actually really cool. So, unfortunately, it's this match is easily the least important match on the whole show. It's just been thrown together. It feels like this is a Monday Night Raw match on an Evolution show to get all these women on the show. It's basically a Raw match, so we'll see how it goes. They can probably have a good match, though. So Sasha gets a nice pop. Natalya, not a big one. Bayley gets a decent pop. They show Finn Balor holding a hugger section sign in the crowd. They're all showing the male wrestlers supporting their female wrestlers. So I think they might actually have a good match here. Even though it's a meaningless match, it's a Raw match, they might actually do well. While watching this match, you can tell it seems like WWE views Sasha Banks as the biggest star in this match, and she's always getting the biggest pops by far. She's easily the biggest star in this whole match, and the one spot, there's another major botch. She does this dive over the top rope, and it's like the senton over the top, and she lands on the ring apron when she was supposed to land in the arms of the Riott Squad. She messed that up, another major botch. But then it looked really sick because they slammed her into the barricade. But if she landed on them, that actually would have looked really cool. But that was a bad botch. So the babyfaces get the win. It was a good match. Not a great match, but not a really good match. I mean, you've had 4 good matches. You haven't had anything weak on the show. It was another solid match. You see this match on Raw, that's a problem. But the crowd was into it. They really liked it. It was a fun match. It ends with Sasha Banks getting the tribute to Eddie Guerrero with hitting the frog splash on Liv Morgan for the 3. So the babyfaces win. They beat the Riott Squad. I thought the Riott Squad was great here. I like how they keep tagging in and out. I think that's really cool. But they gave it to the faces. They gave Sasha Banks a win. She finally wins a match on a pay-per-view. Has Sasha Banks ever won a match cleanly on a pay-per-view? I swear, like, she always seems to lose. But they gave her the win, her team, and they gave Bayley and Natalya. And it looks like, I think, Bayley and Sasha, I think, will most likely be the first ever women's tag team champions, which they have not announced, which I was expecting that announcement. So up next, NXT Women's Championship, you have Kairi, Sane defending Natalya against Shayna Baszler. I really enjoyed their match. They had a TakeOver Brooklyn in August, so we'll see if they can top that. And they're also following last year's Mae Young Classic finals. So before the match, they show some wrestlers at ringside. They show Jessamyn Duke and Marina Shafir, also part of the 4 Horsewomen with Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. Right next to them is Bianca Belair, who, by the way, I also said Toni Storm's going to be a big star. Another big star, big top female stars, I guarantee will be Bianca Belair. She has all the tools. She's going to be a star. But with this match, again, we'll see how they do. I was not a fan of the NXT Women's title match ending. I think it's bullshit. Shayna's champion again. I thought it would have been better just to have Kairi as champ, and I wanted to see her feud up Bianca. I don't want to see Shayna as champ anymore. I think they're going to do, I don't know if they're going to do the 4 Horsewomen thing at Survivor Series. I hope not, because I think they just don't have enough time to build that up properly. I hope they don't do that at WrestleMania, because I don't think the other 3 Horsewomen deserve it. I'm not a fan of having the heel win here. I think everyone wants to see Kairi win. I really want to see Bianca Belair win the title I want to see her beat Kairi at the next TakeOver. I don't like how they had Duke and Shafir. They're not even there. I don't know. I was not a fan of that ending. The match was really good. They had the hangwoman spot, which was cool, but the actual ending, nah, not a fan. So up next, we have Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship. So right off the bat, I have a complaint. So they edit the video package to make it look like Becky Lynch is the heel. She's being booed, and Charlotte Flair is being cheered. Couldn't be further from the truth. So when they come out, Becky Lynch is absolutely adored. She's heavily cheered. She is insanely over. She's the most over one on the whole show. And Charlotte is clearly not. So, I mean, it's like they clearly had their agenda to do. It's like when they say we're going to do something, they don't give a shit what the fans think. The fans can go to hell. It's like this is what the story we're going to tell, hell or high water. And I'm not a big fan of the way they do stuff like that. So, it is what it is. Like, they're just going to tell the story they want to tell of Michael Cole and Renee Young and Beth Phoenix, who was not good on commentary. One problem I have with the show is Beth Phoenix on commentary. Like, she'll just like raise her voice, like to make sure she's heard in front of the other two. She's just not good. So, anyway, we'll see what these two have. Last one was saying, I mean, last year, Asuka and Nikki Cross had a great last one was saying in NXT. So, we'll see what these two can do. They've had a lot of matches. We'll see if they can top it. Also, have to give some props before the match. JoJo looking stunning during the ring announcements. So, this probably is going to be the best match on the show. Seeing what they do here, how far they're allowed to go. No blood, obviously, I don't expect, but I expect a lot of big stuff, some big stunts. Holy shit, what a fucking classic match. That was the greatest women's match in WWE history on the main roster without a question. I think actually, easily the best women's match I ever had. Better than NXT, and yeah, better than the NXT ones matches. I think that was better than Bayley and Sasha from Brooklyn. That was an absolute classic match. It was brutal. It was a war. It was a hardcore match. I think every pay-per-view needs a hardcore match, and this was that. This was just an absolute battle. This was my favorite WWE pay-per-view match of the year. I think this is better than any show we've seen on the WWE main roster pay-per-view all year. I think maybe only the Gargano Ciampa match. The first one might have been better, and maybe Gargano Almas in terms of the entire company. That was just absolutely fantastic. Okay, I have a couple negatives. I'm going to get them out of the way. Beth Phoenix is fucking horrible on commentary. Get her off. She just screams like she's trying to get her point across. She just yells, and she's afraid of being cut off. She is absolutely terrible. She has a horrible voice for commentary. She hurt this match. If this was a regular SmackDown crew, this would have been one of the best matches ever, but she hurt, she brought this match a bit down. She was terrible. Get her off. I'm like, Vince, can you just yell at her, even if you never get to have Edge back with the company again? Just yell at her. She was horrible. And Renee wasn't very good, but I think Beth made it worse. This was just fantastic. The crowd was just going nuts. It was a war. It was very long and it was great. It was like one of those long wars. Maybe my favorite last woman standing match or last man standing match I've ever seen. I don't know if I can think of anything better recently for sure. So let me just talk about some of the stuff. They start off a lot of hardcore stuff. They used kendo sticks, and then they both tossed a whole bunch of chairs in the ring, like a whole bunch of chairs. They both took slams on the chairs. Charlotte gave Becky a back suplex, and Becky slammed Charlotte on the chair. Then the table spot, and this was originally a botch. Charlotte does a moonsault from the top onto Becky. It didn't look good. She didn't do it hard, and she barely landed. But then one thing I loved is they went right back to it. They didn't let it ruin them. Charlotte does a swanton bomb off the top rope through Becky through the table, which was great. That was a great spot. Then they bring a ladder into the mix, which was great. Charlotte does her figure 8 onto Becky through the ladder, which looked really good. They brawl into the crowd for a while. Charlotte hits a whole bunch of chops. And then probably one of the best spots was on the announce table. Charlotte's laid down on the announce table. Becky goes to the top, hits a double leg drop from the top of the ladder through the announce table, which looked absolutely sick. And Charlotte gets up. Even though there was kind of a botch, I don't think Charlotte actually got up. There was one botch there, but then Becky does the whole thing. She buries her on the rubble. Charlotte gets up. I'm glad they didn't do that cheap finisher. Then when Charlotte got up, the fans were pissed off because, oh shit, Charlotte's going to. I thought, oh, great. Charlotte's winning. She's going to beat Becky. She hits her with the spear on the outside. She's beating down Becky Lynch. The match is going to be over. Charlotte's going to win. The fans are booing loudly for all the kendo sticks and chair shots in this match. It's been a war. Charlotte has a whole bunch of welts on her back. She's overcome everything. She's going to win, and she nails Becky on the outside with a big spear. She sets up Becky on a table, goes for a moonsault from the top turnbuckle. Becky comes out, hits a powerbomb Charlotte from the top of the turnbuckle all the way out to the outside through a table, and Becky gets the victory. Even though Charlotte actually got to her feet, but Becky does get the win. Becky wins an absolutely classic women's match. Just an amazing match. This has been the best feud on the whole company. This is the feud of the year on the main roster. This has just been absolutely fantastic. What an amazing match. That was just an all-time great women's match. I loved every second of that. That was just excellent. So after that, we get to see Nikki Bella follow that. Nikki Bella is going to get to be in the main event. That should have been the main event. It should have just been Ronda, Nikki before this, then this main event, but whatever, they're going to go with that. That's just so, what an amazing match. But Nikki Bella's main eventing Evolution, and that Charlotte Becky match, I mean, it made this show the best pay-per-view to be put on. Not better than this is not going to be better than the NXT shows, but this is probably the best main roster show they've done this year after that match. When they were running down Crown Jewel, man, that was so awkward. It was just terrible. Anyway, it's Ronda Nikki now. Hopefully this is a squash. Should be like, it's the complete destruction. So Nikki Bella is a complete joke. Seeing her completely dominate the majority of the match is bullshit. It was Ronda dominating, and then both the Bellas hit Ronda into the ring post, and Nikki Bella completely is dominating the majority of the match. It's a complete joke. It just sucks. I think it's bullshit. It's a nothing standard WWE match. You have to follow Charlotte and Becky, and Nikki Bella is in the fucking main event, and this is what we're getting. A fucking mediocre Divas Raw match from like 2013. That's what Nikki Bella is. She's horrible. The Brie Bella is a million times worse, but still, the Bella twins are divas, and this is why people hate the divas. She's been saying all this about the divas. Yeah, I'm so happy that she failed miserably having to follow Charlotte and Becky. It's just great. So, I don't know. I thought the match went on too long. It was clearly the inferior match of the match I had before. It was probably you know what? I'm going to say that was my least favorite match on the whole show. It was still a decent match. It got good at the end. Even though I think it's complete utter bullshit. Nikki Bella's getting so much fucking offense. She's infinitely better than her sister Brie Bella, who's just embarrassingly bad. Ronda eventually gets the win. The one big problem was Beth Phoenix on commentary. Beth Phoenix is the worst announcer in WWE history. She might be a nice person, but she was fucking abysmal on this show. She was fucking horrible. She was unspeakably terrible. But anyway, Ronda wins. And then after the match, so like Ronda Rousey, basically high fives every single fan in attendance. Then she celebrates with all the women. So they have all the women on the stage. They all celebrate together. They all stand tall. And Ronda's in the center. Stephanie's also in the center. And a great way to end the show. And, the show was a fun show. I really enjoyed it. And I'd probably say this is the most fun, the most enjoyable WWE pay-per-view I've seen this year.